Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhagavati Nashtaki. So continuing with Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 2, Remembrance of Lord Krishna, text number 28. So Uddhavji is further speaking to Vidurji and he's remembering Krishna and Krishna's pastime. Kaumarim darshayanshcheshtam prekshaniyam bhajokasam Rudannev hasan mugdha bala singhavaloknaham. When the Lord displayed his activities just suitable for childhood, he was visible only to the residents of Vrindavan. Sometimes he would cry and sometimes laugh, just like a child. And while so doing, he would appear like a lion cub. If anyone wants to enjoy the childhood pastimes of the Lord, then he has to follow in the footsteps of the residents of Braj, like Nanda, Upananda and other parental inhabitants. A child may insist on having something and cry like anything to get it, disturbing the whole neighborhood, and then immediately after achieving the desired thing, he laughs. Such crying and laughing is enjoyable to the parents and elderly members of the family, so the Lord would simultaneously cry and laugh in this way and merge his devotee parents in the humor of transcendental pleasure. So sometimes Krishna would, like, just imagine if a child does this kind of, throws these kind of tempers, and he needs a pampering, even in the material world, and the father and mother would do anything to keep him from crying. If the child cries, then the whole house is disturbed. Everybody is disturbed. And the parents would do anything to him, to give him whatever he wants. Just don't cry. And multiply that by trillions of times when Krishna would throw tantrums and he would want something. And so how much Nanda Baba and Yashoda Maya would try to give him that thing. So he would stop crying and this would increase the mood of love for him. Just like once Krishna started crying, he was looking at moon and he said, Maya, I want the moon. Maya said, moon? Nobody can have the moon. Moon is up in the sky. Nobody can have it. You can just worship him. That's it. You cannot have the moon. No, Maya, I want the moon. And he started to cry. Now Maya was bewildered what to do. Lala is crying and she doesn't know what to do. Then she thought of a trick. She took a bucket and filled it up with water and showed Krishna the reflection of moon in the water. And she told him, say, here's your moon. Take it. And then Krishna was happy. He was laughing. Now, who would say this is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Yashoda Maya never thought that this is Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is crying for the moon. Okay, you're the Supreme Lord yourself. Go get the moon. You can get the moon. And Krishna would also forget that he is the Supreme Lord. Maya gave him, in a way, Maya just lied to him. Okay, here is a bucket in the water and here is a moon. You see the reflection of moon? There's your moon. But these incidents would increase the love, the pleasure of transparental rasa between Krishna and Yashoda Maya and Nanda Baba. And this is what Krishna wanted. This is what Nanda Baba and Yashoda Maya wanted. And in fact, these pastimes become more sweet because Krishna does not display these pastimes in the spiritual world, pastimes of Bala Leela. He doesn't do that in spiritual world. They only happen in the material world. So even for Nanda Baba and Yashoda Maya to enjoy these pastimes, they have to come to the material world. So then the whole thing becomes so sweet. These incidents are enjoyable only by the residents of Braj, like Nanda Maharaj, and not by the impersonalist worshippers of Brahman or Paramatma. Of course, they cannot have any personal loving relationship with the Lord. If worshippers of Brahman, I mean, how can they have any relationship? There is no person. And even with Paramatma, Paramatma has this only few duties, a few um, responsibilities. He's a witness and he's a sanctioner. So he also, one cannot have this relationship with Paramatma also. So only person is Bhagwan. And that too Bhagwan with Krishna. Because with Ram also one can have only awe and reverence relationship. But with Vrindavan Krishna, specifically Bal Krishna, Ladu Gopal, one can have wonderful, so beautiful, loving relationship, pastimes that nobody can imagine. And just look at the picture behind me. I mean, this is the devotees of ISKCON. They created this picture, they drew this picture. Understanding through the scriptures what Krishna would look like and how attractive this picture is. In fact, if you see the bigger poster of this picture, you just hang it in the middle of the room, no matter where you go, you will see Krishna's eyes are following you. That is Krishna. He's stealing butter. He's eating butter with his left hand. In fact, this is what bewildered Brahmaji also. When Krishna was having lunch in the forest with his cowherd boyfriends. So his cowherd friends, how much they love Krishna. They would, because everybody would bring their lunch, whatever their mothers have packed for them. So the cowherd boyfriend would come, Madhu Mangal would come, oh Krishna, because he would taste whatever he got first. Oh yes, it is very sweet. Oh, very tasty. This item is very tasty. And he would even eat it half and then take the other half and put it in Krishna. Krishna, eat this. This is very sweet. This is very nice. And so Krishna would come, and Subal and other friends would come. They would feed Krishna. Oh, Krishna, taste it. This is nice. And like that, Krishna would practically eat half of the whole lunch. Everybody would not. And then somebody gave him some rice, yogurt rice, and he held that yogurt rice in his left hand, and he was eating with his right hand. And Brahmaji appeared, and Brahmaji said, well, in the scriptures it is said that one should not touch food with his left hand. And here people said this is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He doesn't even know this much etiquette that you should not touch food with your left hand. And Brahmaji was thinking, oh, let me test. Well, they say he's the real Supreme Personality of Godhead. Let me test if he's real. So he had his calves and the cowherd boys. But then the whole pastime unfolded. But the thing is, these pastimes are so super sweet and so bewildering that only, like Prabhupada saying, only people following in the footsteps of residents of Braj like Nanda, Upananda, and other parental inhabitants can enjoy these pastimes. Others cannot. They just can't even understand, forget about enjoying these pastimes. And especially Krishna's pastimes of stealing butter, stealing yogurt from gopis' houses. This is so bewildering to people. They say, how can, I mean, if somebody becomes a devotee of Krishna, then he becomes pure, he gives up all the bad habits, even the inclination to commit sin goes away. And here you are worshipping a Lord who is stealing himself. How can you worship a chore? He was a chore, he was a thief. But we have to understand. That's why the acharyas, following acharyas, bona fide acharyas is very important. So he, philosophically speaking, even if we go philosophically, Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhava, everything comes from me. So if everything comes from him, so does the cow, and so does the milk, and so does the yogurt and butter. So if everything belongs to him, everything comes from him, everything, he is enjoyer, proprietor, controller of everything. So where is the question of stealing? He's just taking his own property. In fact, we are the thieves. We have taken away Krishna's property and we don't use it in Krishna's service. He's not the thief. And then secondly, why would he go to those houses and steal? Many reasons. One was the gopis in those houses, they would wait for Krishna to come and take the yogurt and butter. And when all the boys are there, especially the boys, the girls won't do it. That's why Krishna never would take gopis with him to do these activities. But when the boys are there, boys get a special kick out of these kind of activities. If they go to somebody's house and Gopi Mataji is there and he would ask all the boys to sit down in line and she would serve them butter and yogurt on patal and everybody is satisfied to the fullest content, they won't like it. This is not what pleasure is. Pleasure is if there is some stealing, some suspense involved, and some excitement is there, and the gopi is running after them with the stick, and they're running away, laughing. That's where the excitement is. That's where the adventure is. If for us, if that is the adventure, that's the pleasure. Just imagine Krishna and his cowherd boyfriends. They would love to have this kind of pleasure, and this is what they did every day. And in fact, the gopis also they would keep the butter and yogurt for them to come and stay because they wanted Krishna to come to their house. And more difficult they would make for Krishna to come and steal. They knew Krishna would definitely come to their house, and Krishna would enjoy, and not just enjoy. Krishna would just break the pots and let the butter and yogurt spread all over, throw it away, give it to monkeys, or untie the calves to drink up all the milk of their mothers. And gopis would love that. It wasn't a botheration for them. And then somebody would ask, why would gopis would go and complain to Mother Yashoda? They loved it so much. They would go and complain to Yashoda so that they could go to the house of Yashoda and see Krishna. Krishna was more dear to them than their own kids. This is the love of gopis for Krishna, the elderly gopis. So just like once there was a gopi and she was known that nobody could enter her house to steal butter and yogurt. So Krishna said, well, this is the house you're going to go to tomorrow. Because that's where if there is no challenge, there is no fun. So this gopi, what she did, she put bells and whistles all over her house, all over the doors, all over the windows, even on the robe, even on the chika where this pot was hanging, carrying yogurt, and the rope that was connected to that pot. Everywhere there were bells. Now Krishna and the cowherd boys, they entered the house. And Gopi was somewhere in the house, but she was in some other room. So they entered the house, and Krishna saw the bells hanging from the window. And he is the Supreme Lord, obviously. So he went to the bells. He told them, no noise, no sound today. So all the gang of cowherd boys, they entered the house through the window, and now the bell rang. Then they went one door after the door, and whichever door he went by, he said, "No ringing today. Don't make any sound." So the bells had to follow Krishna. So Krishna came to the inside room, and that's where he saw the pot was hanging from the rafter, and they made this steps. Everybody went down, tied to each other, like Govinda Halare in Mumbai, what they do. So Krishna got up on the topmost boy, and he put his and he saw the bells, and he told the bells, "Okay, no sound today. You're not gonna make any sound." So bells were quiet. So Krishna went up to the pot, and he took out yogurt and butter, and he was passing it down, and all the cowherd boys were eating and enjoying. And Krishna had told the bells no sound today, and bells were quiet. And then afterwards, all the boys, everybody was fed up nicely. They were all satisfied. And then Krishna put the hand in the pot, and he wanted to eat it. And as soon as he put the yogurt and butter in his mouth, the bell started ringing. Ding, 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 ding. All the bells and all over the house they were ringing. And the cowherd boys ran away, and then the Krishna ran away, and the gopis came running, and she said, "I saw you guys. I saw you guys. I'll go and complain to Yashoda. You guys are stealing, and she doesn't listen to me." But Krishna, while he was running, he had taken one bell with him, and he said, "Oh bell, I told you not to ring. Why did you ring? When we went through the..." So Bell said, "Well, when you went through the windows, went through the doors, you told me not to ring, I didn't ring. When you were feeding your cowherd friends, you told me not to ring, I didn't ring." But now it is said in the scriptures, when anybody has to make an offering to the Supreme Lord, he has to bend down, he has to ring the bell, and he has to chant the mantras. Then that's when the offering is complete. But when you started eating, I had to ring, because otherwise the offering wouldn't have been complete. And then Krishna said, "Look at these bells, they also have so much of logic." But these were his pastimes every day, stealing butter and yogurt. And once they went to the house of a gopi, and this gopi, Padmavati, she would come and complain to Yashoda that your Lala comes, and Yashoda Maya, why would my son go to your house to steal butter and yogurt when I have 900,000 cows and special cows? I will literally have rivers of butter and yogurt in my house. So Yashoda Maya would not listen to any of these gopis' complaints. But then Padmavati said, "Okay, I'll catch hold of him one day, and I'll bring him to you with yogurt and butter on his mouth. Then you will believe me." Okay. Now there's a challenge, and Krishna would always love the challenge, and all the cowherd boys. So they said, "Tomorrow we are going to go to Padmavati's house only." So next day they all came to Padmavati's house, and Padmavati was somehow hiding in the same room where she had kept the yogurt and the butter. And as soon as Krishna came in, she caught hold of him. All the cowherd boys ran away because she wasn't interested in anybody else. She wanted to catch hold of Krishna, and she caught him eating. And his hands were full of butter and yogurt, and his mouth was also full. And she said, "Okay, now today I'll take you to Yashoda and see what she has to say now." Krishna tried to plead to her that, "Kaki, don't take me. It's okay. I will not come to your house." No, no, no. Yashoda doesn't listen to me. She thinks you are a very, very obedient boy. And now she will see that you are a liar and stealer and a thief. So she caught hold of Krishna's hand, and then one hand there was a stick, and then they went. started going to. She started dragging him to Yashoda's house. And when she was about to reach Yashoda's house, Nanda Baba was outside. And when Nanda Baba was outside, she obviously gopis they take out, they put on ghungat, cover their faces. So she covered her face and then she went inside the house. Oh Yashoda, Yashoda, see who I caught. Yashoda, come out. You never believed me. Come out, Yashoda. Where are you? Yashoda Maya came out. What is it, Padmavati? What do you want? See, Yashoda, I used to tell you every time that Krishna is coming to my house to steal the butter and yogurt, and you won't listen to me. See, now I caught him red-handed or butter-handed. Now you see yourself. Yashoda said, who did you catch? Of course, your Lala, I caught. Yashoda Maya said, my Lala is sitting inside the house eating butter and yogurt. I just finished, gave him, and you take off your ghungat and see who did you catch. And Padmavati got shocked. Padmavati opened her ghungat and saw who did she had catch. She was still holding the hand, and it was her own son. Padmavati, where did you come from? And he said, you're the one who caught me, and then he brought me here. What can I do? And then Krishna comes from inside. And Yashoda Maya, see, Maya, this is what I tell you. All these gopis, they plan so much against me. And then Padmavati is bewildered. What happened? Krishna is Yogeshwara, he can do anything. So she came outside again, Nanda Baba was there, so she had to put on her ghungat, and then she was going back with her son, and then she was bewildered, she was angry. What happened here? I caught hold of Krishna, and then how come my son is there? When halfway to the house, Krishna, the cowherd boy, again became Krishna. It was Krishna himself. And Krishna told Kaki, just take off your ghungat. And then she saw it was Krishna. Padma said, what is this happening? And Krishna tells her, see, today I took form of your son when you caught hold of me, and then you tried to prove that I was a cheater, I was a thief. Next time you catch me, I'll take the form of your husband. Then you don't blame me. Then Padmavati just let him go, and she ran away. And she said, I'll never catch hold of you. Eat as much as of yogurt and butter you want from my house. So these are the super, super sweet pastimes of Krishna dealing with all the Brajvasis as his parents. And in fact, all these Brajvasis, they loved Krishna more than their own sons, own kids. And actually, when Uddhavji was sent by Krishna from Dwarka to give the message to gopis about his not coming or that he would come later and they should meditate. So Uddhavji not only gave the message to young gopis, he gave the message to elderly gopis also. And elderly gopis were crying. They were saying, we will never catch hold of Krishna. Let him steal as much as butter as he wants. I think that's why he is not coming back, because we used to chastise him. We used to stop him from coming to the house and taking away the butter and yogurt. And this was their love for Krishna. In separation, the love really is shown forth. And they were saying, let him come, but just let him come. Whatever he wants to do, he can do it. There's no problem. So this is the Vrajvasi's law. Sometimes when attacked in the forest by demons, Krishna would appear struck with wonder. But he looked on them like the cub of a lion and killed them. So analogy is given of a cub of a lion. Means the cub is a little baby lion, and he would get bewildered if some big demon has come and is thinking, oh, what will happen now? But then, because he's a cub of a lion, it's not just any ordinary animal or any ordinary person who would kill them. His childhood companions would also be struck with wonder, and when they came back home, they would narrate the stories to their parents, and everyone would appreciate the qualities of their Krishna. Everyone would appreciate the qualities of their Krishna. See, Prabhupada is writing. It's because everybody took him as their own son. Child Krishna did not belong only to his parents, Nanda and Yashoda. He was the son of all the elderly inhabitants of Vrindavan and the friend of all contemporary boys and girls. Everyone loved Krishna. He was the life and soul of everyone, including the animals, the cows and the calves. In fact, the cows also wanted Krishna to be their child instead of their own calves. And this was displayed. This love for Krishna was displayed by cows during this Brahm Vimohan Leela, which we'll study later on. So anyway, I'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments?
Thank you so much for the nectarine class, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mata.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
So in the beginning, you mentioned that for Mata Yashoda and Nand Baba to enjoy those pastimes, they have to come to this material world. But we have read that there are 5 different ras, and Vatsalya is one of them in spiritual world.
Mm-hmm.
So how that ras is different from we enjoying the childhood pastimes of the Lord in material world?
See, in spiritual world, in Golok, Vrindavan, he's a Nitya Kishore. He's eternally in a youth form. So he doesn't take birth in the spiritual world, and he doesn't perform these baby pastimes, babyhood pastimes. So Vatsalya Ras is there. Of course, Yashoda Maiya has the young Krishna as a Kumar, or not Kumar, as a Kishore. So those pastimes he performs here, the killing of demons in Vrindavan and the babyhood pastimes. Of course, these leelas are eternally, because even in the material world, the leelas are always going on in one universe or the other. So the leelas are eternal, but these leelas he performs specifically over here.
Oh, thank you so much, Prabhuji.
You're welcome.
And sorry, one more question. So when this material world annihilates, then when the spiritual world exists, then what about these leelas? As you said, it happens eternally.
That's a good question. Jiva Goswami has explained that when everything is merged in the body of Mahavishnu for the duration of his inhalation, then Maya, Yog Maya, creates as many universes again for Krishna to continue to have his pastimes.
Wow.
That's why it's called Nitya Leela.
Okay. So in other words, material world is always there. For Krishna, at least.
Yeah, but that world, when Maya creates, then it is unmanifested for us. But for Krishna, he can perform his pastimes.
Okay, thank you so much, Prabhuji.
It's mind-boggling how this whole thing happens.
It's interesting as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Any other question or comment?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, one question on this. You mentioned that Mahabharata happened, I think, 5,000 years back, when Lord Krishna has given, all the related information about the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. Now, when was this childhood pastimes? How long back? I mean, was it like 5,000 years ago or more than that?
Well, roughly 5,000, because he remained on earth to perform his pastimes for 125 years. And when he delivered Mahabharata, a message of Gita to Arjuna, after that he stayed for 37 years or so. So at the time of Mahabharata, he was, we can back calculate, he was like 78 or whatever years, or 88. 88. So going back another 78 years, or maybe 80 years, he was 8 or 9 years old when all these passions happened.
Okay. Thank you.
So at the Battle of Mahabharata, he was about 88, 90 years old. He was a grandfather from material calculation, but he didn't look like more than 16-year-old boy. Prabhupada, one place he said 16, one place he said 25. So, but he is Nitya Kishore, so 16 would sound more right. But and one purport, Prabhupada wrote 25. So whatever it could be.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Radha Damodar Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
All glories to Prabhupada. You all have a wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri
Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhupada.